welcome back to Paradise Island, one of the greatest resorts in the world and host to one of the greatest tournaments in the world.
The PCA main event is well underway at striking Atlantis in the Bahamas. As night falls, the players have a renewed sense of purpose and anticipation. They're all in the money and the race to the final table is on.
A record-setting field of over 1,500 players began.
How you doing?
And so far on day 3, many big names have fallen, including 2008 PCA champ Elke.
Again, please.
But all eyes are on the biggest name, Chris Moneymaker.
I like my chances. I think I have a really solid chance to make a run here.
Yeah, I've got you right where I want you now.
The field is now down to just 83, and taking centre stage at the TV table is high roller champion Eugene Kachalov.
I'm just trying to win, or nothing else. Like anything else, I'll be upset about.
Joined by top pros Faraz Jaka.
Winning the PCA would be a great way to start 2011.
And Eddie Sabat.
A win here would obviously mean a lot, 2.3 million.
Hello, I'm James Hartigan, joined once again by William Reynolds, breaking down the action in the PCA main event. And here at our feature table is the man who won that super high roller title.
Does this table feel familiar, Eugene?
Eddie Sabat was on the rail watching his buddy Daniel Negreanu finish runner-up to Eugene Kachalov. In seat 1 is Faraz Jaka, who made 2 NAPT Bounty Shootout final tables last season. Here is our featured table. Average stack 564,000. Kachalov has $500,000. The table chip leader is Ana Laura Marquez, one of only 2 women left in the tournament fighting for that trophy and the $2.3 million first prize. Blinds are 6 and 12,000. Pocket 4s for Eugene Kachalov. He's first to speak here, under the gun. And he's raising, makes it 27,000. Pocket 10s for Ana Laura Marquez.
And from under the gun +1, this is a good spot to just call.
That's what she will do. A junk hand for Eddie Sabat, he mucks. Andrea Tringali from Italy starts the hand with a 13 big blind stack. He picks up ace-queen. And he makes the move.
This is a fantastic spot to rejam all in. There's a raise and a call in front of him. There are many chips in the pot for him to collect.
It's been folded around to Sander Jansen in the big blind. He's got 7s.
Pairs, pairs, and more pairs. He can't possibly call with 2 players behind.
He lets it go. And so does the initial raiser.
How much is it?
And Marquez should be delighted to call.
I call.
And she does call, putting Tringali at risk. It is a race. Tringali needing to hit one of his 2 overcards to take the lead and double up. No help for him on that flop. Still needs an ace or a queen, 6 outs. Needs to hit on the river, or we lose a player from our feature table. No help on the river. A full house for Marquez.
Let's have a big round of applause for Andrea, everyone. Good luck.
Thank you.
Andrea Tringali knocked out in 83rd place, for which he'll get $23,500.
She graduated from American University with a degree in history, and she just made her opponent history.
She is chip leader at our feature table, and in the tournament overall, she is 9th in chips. Chris Oliver has the lead with $3 million, and in 4th place, Chris Moneymaker, the 2003 World Series main event champion. And he's involved in a hand right now. The flop is Queen Deuce 3 with 2 hearts, and Moneymaker's bet 53,000. And Michael Pasek has folded. Another pot, more chips for Moneymaker. And across the room, there's the other Chris, chip leader Chris Oliver. He's involved in a hand with former professional footballer Paolo Rink. They both check the turn. And Chris Oliver hits his king on the river. It's been checked to him again. He makes a value bet. And Rink may well pay him off with jacks.
62 to the king. Flush. I call.
He does call.
The flush got there, but the price was right. And he's going to show the table how he plays pocket jacks.
And Chris Oliver will add more chips to his stack. If he has a big cash here at the PCA, maybe he can get his headphones fixed. Well, this is Galen Hall, currently second in chips overall. In a hand against Sam Stein. Hall with the straight draw, which doesn't get there on the river. Instead, it sees Stein pair his queen.
Stein never likes to fold, especially when he has top pair. Galen is making a hopeless bet.
88,000. An attempt to steal the pot. You called it, William. Stein makes the call, shows the pair of queens. Thank you very much. I'll take the 435,000 in the middle.
Galen Hall looks unfazed as he has many chips behind.
Stein now up to 648,000. Returning to our feature table, Ana Laura Marquez still has the chip lead here. And action's on her right now, but she does not want to play.
She'd rather stack her gold.
Eddie Sabat folds the king 3. Faraz Jaka looks down at aces.
Jaka is well known to play a wide range of hands pre-flop. Now he has the best of the best as he raises, putting the table to the test.
Oleg Paraplechikov will fold. Joel Patchell on the button has ace-queen.
If Patchell knows anything about Jaka's game, he knows this ace-queen is well ahead of Jaka's range. However, this is bad timing.
He's going to re-raise. It's a 3-bet to 68,000. Bear in mind, Patchell only started the hand with 270,000.
That means he's already put in almost 25% of his chips. Jaka is sizing up both his opponent and his chip stack.
All in.
Jaka shoves on him.
Oh.
And he makes the call.
Jaka concluded Patchell had a value hand. No tricky play syndrome, all in.
To say Patchell's drawing thin is a mild understatement. He has just 7% equity.
Both of his suits are live.
Optimist.
At least the flush on board can't win this one. Can't chop this one.
So Patchell way behind and facing elimination. Well, there's an interesting flop. A set of aces for Jaka, the flush draw for Patchell.
Always gotta be a sweat with us, right?
That was a great flop.
Patchell wants a club.
I guess I could always go 4-5.
Jaka wants the board to pair.
That's 2 clubs.
Straight cards for a shot.
2 clubs.
Kachelov did indeed fold 2 clubs. It's taken away some of Patchell's outs.
If you're gonna do it, do 4-5, not the club.
King of diamonds. Here's a blank. So Patchell has 6 outs. Any club on the river and he survives. Any other card, he's eliminated and Jaka takes his chips. It's the 4 of clubs. It's the flush for Patchell.
Wow.
Devastating river top set has been flushed away.
That's a shame.
He's taking it quite well.
That's what 7% looks like.
Patchell now up to 577,000.
Running good.
While Faraz Jaka is now the shortest stack at the feature table here at the PCA main event.
The PokerStars.com Caribbean Adventure is a 10-day poker festival unlike any other. Thousands of players converge at the Atlantis resort, making it one of the greatest poker events in the world.
And the reason why we get such huge fields on this tour is sitting right there. Chris Moneymaker, the man who gave birth to the poker boom, who's now looking to win his 2nd major title 8 years after he won his first. Back at our feature table, Faraz Jaka took a bit of a knock after doubling up Joel Patchell. Patchell not going to play this hand. And folded to Eugene Kachelov. The PCA Super High Roller champion has 10-6 of hearts, and he's raising with it.
Well, he folded a hand that made a straight flush last hand. He might as well play a hand that can make a straight flush this time.
The now short-stacked Jaka has ace-7 off. He's in the small blind, and he's raising.
Jaka believes Kachelov is riding momentum from the Super High Roller win. He is putting Kachelov to an early test.
Ace-7 suited for Oleg Paraplechikov, but he's not going to play. And Kachalov will fold the 10-6 of hearts.
That was a joke, wasn't it?
Definitely. They're all jokes.
No, that one definitely was.
Xhaka is known to mix it up from time to time. Online, he's a high-stakes player who goes by a rather unfortunate moniker.
My nickname is The Toilet. I started playing poker my second semester freshman year, and that nickname was given to me kind of right away. I had no idea what I was doing, so I would just play suited cards because I assumed those were good hands. And I kept getting a bunch of flushes. I like to start off nice and dirty. My college mates would get frustrated and be like, damn it, the toilet flushes again. If you don't suck out at least once, you can't feel good about yourself, you know? I had to make an online screen name, and I was like, well, everyone calls me the toilet, sure, why not? Next thing I know, I'm playing nosebleed stakes, and everyone thinks it's hilarious that a high-stakes player is called the toilet, so I guess there's no turning back at that point. My strategy is to just find a way to make sure it hurts the most. There's a little mystery behind who I actually am. A lot of people don't know the toilet is Faraz Xhaka. I'm sure my mom wishes it was something else, but it's not a big deal.
Xhaka is no longer a peaceful toilet. He's looking to flush away dreams.
Well, on this next hand, we are going to sweat with the toilet. I'm sorry, that sounds really unpleasant. We are going to sweat with Faraz. We are going to see his hole cards and his hole cards only. We're playing the hand from his perspective.
All right, Xhaka, he has eights.
And he is raising, makes it 27,000.
He's kicking off the action from early position. He has a good medium pair. It's folded over to the blinds, and Xhaka should feel comfortable as he assumes position.
Eddie Sabat in the small blind. Seemingly with a decision, he decides to call. Anton Yanel folds the big blind. So Faraz and Eddie will go heads up to the flop. And there are worse flops for eights.
Xhaka should feel fairly safe with this flop after Eddie just smoothed from the small blind. It's likely he has a lot of those mid pairs or maybe some high suited paint.
It's been checked too, Faraz. And he will bet 37,000.
And back to Eddie, who is reaching for chips. Xhaka should like his hand if those are calling chips, but he should be very wary if those are raising chips.
Eddie has just called. The turn is the ace of spades.
After Eddie just called the flop, I would expect Xhaka's eights to be good, but this ace on the turn may change things. And it looks like it's changing things to the point where Eddie wants to now bet at this pot. For just 12,000. One big blind.
A slightly confusing bet. Faraz makes the call.
By betting one big blind, Eddie is either trying to induce a raise out of Xhaka or get to showdown cheap.
There's now a potential straight and a potential flush out there.
I'm not quite sure what Eddie is representing here.
He seems to have given up because he's just checked. And Faraz happy to get to showdown.
Queens.
Queens? He shocked my world. I didn't expect a big pair.
Unorthodox play by Sabat, but it wins him the pot.
And perplexes the announcers.
I'm permanently perplexed. Faraz now down to around 30 big blinds. Let's head out into the field for some outer table action involving EPT Villamora champion Toby Lewis. He has a pair of aces on the turn. Masa Kagawa, second pair.
650.
And it's Kagawa who's betting that turn. Lewis has the club draw as a backup. The second nut flush draw.
Cookie Monster's gotta eat.
He makes the call. And the board bricks out for Kagawa. And he wisely checks it down. And Lewis will show the ace-jack and win the pot.
And the Cookie Monster gets to eat 271,000 chips.
Kagawa will lick his wounds. Toby Lewis is the last player in the field who could potentially do the EPT double by winning the PCA main event. On another outer table, Dwight Pilgrim, who's been running really hot in tournaments recently, is all in with ace-3, called by Timothy Finney with ace-king. Ace-4-4 on the flop. Finney's king kicker puts him ahead. Pilgrim now can't win, but they could chop with an ace or 4 on the river. And it's the ace of diamonds. Spike. Pilgrim gets his money back.
I never stopped believing, man. Just want y'all to know I had my ace-3, and I was riding out with it, man.
That's your hand? That's your hand?
You know what I mean? If I could do it again, I'll do that same play over again 100 times in a row.
Good for you. Across the room, Greg DeBora has bet 32,000 on the flop of 8-8-7. Decision on Matt Lichty. He is called. The turn brings the Queen of Diamonds. Lichty checks. And looks like DeBora is going to fire again. He bets 58,000. And Lichty is not going to continue in the hand. DeBora will rake in the pot. Greg actually finished 7th in this tournament in 2005. That's the year that John Gale went on to win it. Here is chip leader Chris Oliver, involved in a hand against Scott Wilson. Oliver ahead with a pair of 7s. Wilson with 2 overcards to the board. The turn gives Oliver 2 pairs.
90.
And Wilson, with just a queen high and drawing dead, bets 90,000.
Not many good turn cards in the deck. Oliver found one.
150.
Wilson pairs his 9 on the river and bets again 150,000. Oliver makes the call, shows his 2 pairs, and Wilson mucks.
The problems of trying to bluff the big stack.
When he's got a big hand. Oliver consolidating that chip lead. 3.4 million he's sitting on right now. Back at our feature table, Faraz Jack has managed to get his stack up to above 400,000. Actions on Anton Yanel, pocket jacks. And looks like we're going to see a raise from late position. Blind to 6,000, 12,000. He makes it 32,000. And Jaka in the cutoff has ace-9. Makes the call in position. Patchell has folded the small blind. And Jansen will fold the big blind. So Yanel and Jaka will see the flop. Jack 3 ace, top pair for Jaka, a set of jacks for Yanel.
Danger, danger, danger.
And Yanel sets a trap by checking.
Yanel was afraid his opponent would fold everything that was not an ace, so he lets Jaka do the betting, who does just that, 45,000. And the old sigh.
I raise.
Followed by a raise. Yanel may as well hold up a sign saying, I have a set, everyone.
And Yanel is a Romanian businessman, and he wants to get busy with this check raise. Yanel went to Hollywood before the check raise. Now he's trying to take Jaka to Value Town, but Jaka may think better of this after that long sigh, and he does just that. He makes an excellent fold. I think Jaka had a live read.
Why are you picking on me?
Oh, very good fold.
Huh?
Very good fold, believe me.
No kidding.
Jaka should feel proud of that laydown.
Well, after that pot, Anthony Yanel is now the second biggest stack at our feature table. The short stack is Eugene Kachalov. Super High Roller champion has posted the small blind. Ana Laura Marquez has posted the big blind, which means Eddie Sabat is under the gun. I'll let go of the king deuce. Yanel with kings. Look at who's picking up all the big pairs today.
Yanel's going to keep riding that wave.
Makes it 32,000. For us, with Jack 10 suited, will make the call.
Jaka is very interested in playing bots with Yanel right now.
Kachelov 8-9 of diamonds.
And on the short stack, he's just trying to make something happen. He's hoping he can hit a flop and get all of the chips in.
So he calls, Marquez folds. 3 players will see the flop. And the flop brings an up and down straight draw for Eugene Kachelov. Not much for Jaka. Yanel's kings still best. It's been checked to him and he makes a continuation bet of 58,000.
Betting to protect that overpair. There is a straight draw and a flush draw. Kachelov has that straight draw.
All in.
And he's going with it. He shoves the flop.
This is a very straightforward call.
I call.
And he does call.
Kachelov is going to need to catch a card or catch the next flight off this island. Either way, he should still be backstroking in that $1.5 million super high roller win.
5s and 10s are the cards he needs to hit.
Good luck, sir.
Sporting gesture from Mr. Yanel. The turn card gives Kachelov additional outs.
Whoa. This is big though.
He could hit a diamond now.
Give me a 2. A deuce, please.
But it's a spade. Kachelov out in 74th place. He'll get 28K on top of his $1.5 million super high roller winnings. A great run for him at this year's PCA.
I hit the jigs, I get the kings. I need the aces now.
This feature table has been very kind to Anton Yanel. The field is now down to 73 as the PCA main event here in the Bahamas rolls on.
At the PokerStars.com Caribbean Adventure, the money is getting bigger as the eliminations are piling up. Dwight Pilgrim was knocked out in 73rd.
Good way to start the year off, 2011.
But one man has just wrapped up one of the greatest PCA performances of all time.
Eugene, unlucky, but you've been running pretty well here at the PCA, haven't you, this year?
Yeah, and I was fortunate enough to get pretty deep in this event. It's too bad I couldn't make it 2 in a row, but...
Well, it's not to be this time, but there's always a next time. Congratulations on such great results here at the PCA.
Thanks, Michelle.
72 players remain in the hunt for this trophy and the $2.3 million first prize. Anton Yanel is one of the chip leaders in the room. He's the chip leader at our featured table. Faraz Jaka is the shortest stack at our featured table. He's under the gun with King 9 offsuit. He will raise it up to 27,000.
He may be the shortest stack, but he has a lot of heart and he's trying to earn some pots.
Action's been folded to Ana Laura Marquez. She'll let go of the 5 deuce. Eddie Sabat won the Macau leg of the APPT in 2008. He has Queen Jack of spades in the small blind. And he will call Jaka's raise. Yanel will give up the big. So we go heads up to the flop.
Jaka versus Sabat.
And what a flop. 2 pairs for Sabat. The second nut straight for Jaka.
A lot of chips are going to be flying. I like this lead out of Sabat. He's leading to protect his hand. It's a very draw-heavy board. Most likely it hit Jaka as well.
Sabat's made it 30,000. Jaka raises.
I'm a big fan of this raise out of Jaka. He knows it's highly unlikely that his opponent is bluffing. He's raising to protect this 9 to king straight.
How much do you have total? You have 1...
About 190-ish.
With 190 behind, all of it's about to go in the middle.
I'm all in.
There's the shove from Sabat.
I call.
And the call from Jaka.
King 9?
Yep.
That's a straight.
Must be nice raising with that there and flopping. Flopping genius.
Did he just call him a flopping genius?
That's what it sounded like.
I'll take ace king. You okay with that?
No, I think he'd be happy if things stayed the way they are. So Jacka in a great position to double up here. Just has to fade a queen or a jack on the river. 4 outs for Sabat. And he hits a jack on the river.
And he makes a full house.
The full house will eliminate Faraz Jacka.
Good luck, everyone. Good luck, dude. Take it down.
Luck not on his side today.
Wasn't meant to be.
He'll collect $33,000, and Eddie can send a brag text about the hand to his buddy Daniel Negreanu.
I've known Eddie Sabat for a little while. I did commentary on a show once, and I thought, oh my gosh, this guy sucks. But he ended up winning. And then I started talking to him and realized that it's all part of his master plan.
What is he doing? Are you serious? I met Daniel like a year ago. He's just non-stop energy. There's never a time where he's not,
It's a spade, don't cry. What am I thinking? You got it in bad. So, there are literally about 3 or 4 key tricks that Eddie taught me.
I taught him a couple things, but I can't go over that right now.
There's certain things, if you want to stay competitive, you got to keep that, little nugget of information to yourself. So, me and Eddie shared it, but I think Eddie's playing really good. He's just coming off a final table in Sydney, and that's going to give him a lot of confidence.
I believe in positive energy. I'll give you a hug. With Daniel, he has good vibes. He already won $1 million in the high rollers.
Good match, bro.
Maybe I can do the same.
It's fun. That's good. I hope he makes the final table here. I'll be railing.
I'll have a loud rail, hopefully.
I will be there with my pom-poms, cheering on Eddie with the girls, going, go Eddie!
I'm comfortable, so we'll see what happens.
A month ago, Daniel and Eddie both made the final table of the APPT Grand Final in Sydney. Daniel finished in 9th, Eddie in 6th. He's looking to make another final table here in the Caribbean. Blinds are up. We're now playing 8,000, 16,000 with an ante of 2,000. And new players join the table. Adam Geyer, he started off today as the overall chip leader and is still in the top 10.
And look at this, it's ladies for the lady. Ana Laura Marquez has picked up pocket queens under the gun and makes it 40,000 to go.
Eddie Sabat has 3-4 off, and he will muck it. Antonia now, ace-10 of spades.
I raise.
He's going to re-raise.
He's taking control of this pot by isolating Miss Marquez.
The 3-bet is 110,000.
This is a very strong 3-bet. He's 3-betting an under-the-gun open from early position.
Adam Geyer will give up his big blind. We're back with Anna.
Yanel has only showdown premiums all day. Anna should be conservative.
I call.
She decides just to call. She has the best hand. Yanel with the advantage of position.
Pocket queens played just fine post-flop.
There is an ace on that flop. Yanel takes the lead.
However, they don't play as fine when an ace comes down.
Well, she checks it to Yanel.
And she looks absolutely devastated.
He does not continue. He checks behind.
A nice pot control flop check. She could have a bigger ace.
He hits his 10 as well on the turn. Doesn't really change anything. Marquez will still need to spike a queen.
Well, it does give him aces up, and there was a small chance Anna had a hand like ace-queen. However, now he should be supremely confident. He shouldn't be playing this pot for pot control now. He should be trying to inflate the pot.
He bets 132,000. Anna Marquez will call.
With just one overcard out there, it's not the scariest of boards. It's worth one more card.
The river is a queen. Marquez takes the lead, having river to set.
Anna trips up, and now she's taking her time to act. She may be thinking about a river lead.
No, she checks, hoping to induce another bet from Yanel.
500,000 chips in the pot. This is still a fairly safe river for him to bet with ace-10.
He checks behind.
Wow, an expert check back. He put her on a hand like ace-queen or pocket queens.
And Anna's got that look on her face that says, I missed a bet there.
Good check.
Yep, you could say that.
It was easy.
And I don't know if you could say it was that easy. maybe he had a live read.
How didn't you bet the river?
I don't know how he didn't.
How didn't you bet the river?
It's easy.
Yanel's scarily emphatic. Well, Ana Laura Marquez is now 9th on the tournament leaderboard. Chris Oliver still leads the way with more than 3 million in chips. Chris Moneymaker is still in the top 5 with a stack of 1.5 million. And he's involved in a hand on the outer tables. He has called the all-in of Redmond Lee. Lee shoved with 7s, Moneymaker called with queens. And that pretty much seals it. That does seal it.
I've seen crazy things happen. A little bit better now. Good game, guys. See you later. Thank you. Easy game.
Redmond Lee's run in the 2011 PCA comes to an end. 65th place, $38,000. We are down to 64. And on another outer table, we find Mike Sowers, who's 3rd in chips overall. It's been checked to him on the turn. He's got King 3 of hearts. And with no hand, no draw, he bets 184,000. And Ilam Rua, who has a pair of 8s, will make the call. He doesn't have much of a hand, but he is actually ahead. So Sowers can only get out of this if a king comes on the river, or if he can bet enough to take Rua off his marginal hand. 5 of spades changes nothing. Rua checks again. Sowers is going to bet. 284k. And Rua snaps him.
King high.
8. Allez, quand même.
Oh, yeah.
Usually a hero call takes a little bit of thought. This was a snap.
Well, that's going to boost his stack and his confidence. Sowers seems to have taken it reasonably well.
He looks like he's about to cry.
Well, Ilan Rua will get a spot in the top 10 after winning that pot, while Mike Sowers will slide down the leaderboard. Let's return to our feature table, where Ana Laura Marquez is table chip leader and having a whale of a time. Blowing kisses to the crowd.
Just for the money, he's speaking with you.
No, it's because he's a Spaniard, and I'm a Spaniard.
She's locked up her first ever EPT cash and is feeling confident about making the final table at the PCA.
I'm from Spain, and I'm a student, and I play poker sometimes. Before my senior year, I took a sabbatical. I just needed a break to clear my mind, and I started playing poker, and I really liked it. I like to study poker, same way I love history or economics. It helped me get strength again to come back, write my pieces, and finish. I graduated a year ago from American University in Washington, D.C., and then I started playing again. And now I was deciding to do my master's degree. We'll see what happens. I just came here to play, have fun playing. I'm pretty proud of myself. I feel like I've been playing pretty solid. When you have chips and you're deep, it's the best feeling in the world. Obviously, my #1 goal is winning it. I want to win it.
Well, if Ana Laura Marquez makes the final table here in the Bahamas, let alone wins the tournament, she will make PCA history. The action here has been folded to Adam Geyer. Jack 7, off suit.
Looks like he's into the non-suited triple gappers.
He has raised it up to 37,000. Queens again for Marquez.
Jack 7 off becomes a serious problem when you run into the lady with the ladies.
She calls from the cutoff.
She's playing queens conservatively once more. This time she's even in position.
Eddie Sabat lets go of the 4 deuce. Yanel folds. Paraplechikov folds. So heads up to the flop. And that flop sees Ana Laura Marquez make a set of queens again.
This time she didn't have to wait till the river. She has flopped 3 queens. Her opponent has flopped nothing but backdoors, but is betting at this pot.
65,000.
And Ana takes a deep breath, pondering what to do, Both players are 75 big blinds deep. And that is deep enough to initiate a raise out of Anna. She makes it 180,000, trying to play a big pot right here, right now.
She's thinking, please have a king, please have a king. He doesn't, he's got nothing. And that's why he lets it go. The Queens see Marquez win another pot, has stacked up to 1.34 million. She's table chip leader and 8th in the tournament overall. Out on the field, Chris Moneymaker's in a position where he could potentially eliminate 2 players. David Sands is all in with ace-8. Erica Chirasti is all in with ace-king. Moneymaker with the decision with a pair of 4s.
I call.
He's gonna give him a spin.
All in and call. I got a lot to dodge if I aim in the head. All right. Still got a lot to dodge. A floor around here somewhere.
He has another 2-for-1 special.
Moneymaker has both players covered. Sands has Chirasti covered. And Sands takes the lead with a pair of 8s. Moneymaker needs a 4, Chirasti needs a king. Chirasti picks up the nut flush draw. Moneymaker also with a flush draw, which could eliminate Sands. The river is a king, so Chirasti gets the triple up. And Sands wins the side pot against Moneymaker.
131. Nice hand, guys.
I don't think he meant that.
Does anyone ever mean it when they say that? Moneymaker still 6th on the tournament leaderboard with a stack of 1.5 million.
If you would like to play in an EPT event, go to PokerStars.com. There are qualifiers every day. Welcome back to the PokerStars.com Caribbean Adventure.
And it's been an exciting day 3. Chris Oliver still sits on top of the leaderboard, but the story continues to be the other Chris Moneymaker. We saw him double up 2 players. He's involved in another big pot against Wesley Weems. Moneymaker bets 80,000 on the turn. Weems makes the call. And the river brings the 7 of hearts. It's a flushy, straighty board. And Moneymaker's going to make it 275,000 on the river. Weems with the decision.
That's a full pot bet.
I call.
He elects to call. And Moneymaker shows the nut flush. Just like that, Moneymaker's back on top, 3rd on the leaderboard with a stack of nearly 2 million.
Thank you. Not too difficult to play the nuts.
Not always easy to get paid off when you have the nuts. Well, let's take a look at how the rest of the field stacks up right now. As I mentioned a few moments ago, Chris Oliver is way out in front with 3.2 million. 2 players at our feature table are on the leaderboard. Eddie Sabat in 7th. And 10th in chips right now is Ana Laura Marquez. Blinds are still 8 and 16,000 with a 2K ante.
Each big blind is a shade over half of 1 starting stack.
New player at our feature table, Bolivar Palacios. He's posted the small blind. The action's been folded around to Eddie Sabat. He's in the cutoff and he's got ace-king.
He's got big slick. I expect a standard raise.
The raise is to 33,000, just over a min raise. Queen 9 of diamonds for Anton Yunel on the button.
A fair hand to defend his positional standpoint.
So he makes the call. Palacios, new to the table, Queen 4 offsuit. Lets it go. Oleg Paraplechikov is in the big blind and has pocket 3s.
A nice small pair, and it's a cheap price. He's surely going to be in the pot.
He calls as well. 3-way to the flop. A good flop for Yunel. He picks up the diamond draw, plus he has top pair.
Yunel has smashed this flop. Everyone else has missed. Eddie got a small piece with the gut shot to Broadway and 2 overcards, and he is the pre-flop aggressor, so he is going to continue to bet at this pot.
He bets 63,000.
That is a small bet in relation to the pot.
Call.
Yunel makes the call.
Especially on such a draw-heavy board. Straight draws and flush draws.
Paraplechikov lets go of the 3s. We're heads up to the turn. 2 of hearts, changes nothing. Sabat still with the gut shot and 2 overs to the board. Yunel with top pair and that flush draw.
And Sabat still has a lot of courage. He's firing 1 more barrel, a larger bet this time, 178,000. Yunel is wasting no time to stack chips. But he is debating a call or a raise.
He decides to smooth call.
That is the best play at this point. His queen is often the best hand, but not all of the time. And he still has diamonds to catch up.
The board bricks. Would have brought a set for Paraplechikov. He wasn't to know.
And Yunel missed those diamonds. He still has top pair. Eddie only has ace high. All of the draws missed.
Ace high.
And it gets checked down.
Eddie was happy to check it down after 8-9 king jack and all diamond draws missed, but he is unhappy to see Yunel actually had a queen.
He will win this pot.
Did the flush draw too, right?
He wasn't going anywhere.
Wish he didn't have the flush draw too.
So Yunel wins a pot of 605,000.
Stack gets a lot healthier.
Unlike many of the players left in the tournament, Yunel is not a professional poker player. He is a businessman from Romania, and he's been reasonably active today. He has a VPIP of 29%, above the table average. Well, let's head to one of our outer tables, where Mike Sowers has called the all-in of William Givens. It's a race. Givens with the overcards, Sowers with the pocket pair, which is slightly in front right now. And Givens does not hit either of his overcards on that flop of 8-7 jack.
He does pick up equity.
And on the turn, he picks up a flush draw.
And a straight draw, also with counterfeit 2 pair draw.
Plus his ace is still good. It's a club on the river. Givens gets the double up. And Sowers looking at how many chips, how much of his stack he's going to have to slide across the table.
You can afford it, bro. Thank you.
He may be able to afford it, but that is one payment he does not wish to make.
So 49 players still remain. Play concludes today when we're down to 48. At our feature table, Ana Laura Marquez has the chip lead right now with a stack of 1.4 million. Action is on Bolivar Palacios. He has Jack-6 of hearts.
He thinks better.
Paraplechikov will fold. Patchell with 9-5 of diamonds.
We see another player willing to play a 9-5 suited. You would think all of these poker players would stay away from the 9-5, but that is not the case.
Jensen or muck. Action is on Adam Geyer, who's got pocket 10s.
He has an overpair to Patchell's opening hand. He has position. He's probably going to re-raise and isolate his opponent heads up.
Instead, he will just smooth call.
He wants to flop around.
Ana Laura Marquez gives up the 8-9. Eddie Sabat is in the small blind with ace-5.
Ace reg, no good to play.
In the muck, and Anton Yunel gives up the big blind. So heads up to the flop.
Patchell's gonna need heaps of help.
It's a low flop, deuce 3-4.
He should be very interested in this flop. He has an open-ended straight draw.
No, I think
it's worth betting at. He has plenty of equity. He's the pre-flop aggressor. When you're the pre-flop aggressor, the best idea is to bet the flop.
And he does for 68,000.
And now his opponent isn't going anywhere. He may even raise this hand. He just called pre-flop. His hand is extremely under-repped.
Well, he just called pre-flop, and he just calls on the flop with his overpair.
He continues to prove me wrong. Now there's over 250,000 chips in this pot going to the turn.
Queen of clubs on the turn.
This is an excellent card for Patchell to continue to bet at. He still has plenty of equity with his up and down straight draw, and this card could potentially scare his opponent.
Well, he decides to check.
I think he missed a bet to win opportunity there. Now let's see if Geyer decides to play it cautiously and check back.
No, he's going to bet 115,000.
He's betting to protect his hand and try to win the pot here. Patchell cannot call.
All in.
He shoves.
He can go all in. Apparently, he's one step ahead of me. He did not bet, so he could check jam all in. Now Geyer has an extremely tough decision. He has a nice pair, but he knows his opponent has to have at least a draw.
And this all-in is for almost all of Geyer's stack.
Which makes it even more of a tough decision. This is a great play out of Patchell.
And Adam Geyer folds the best hand. Patchell shows the 9.
That's him.
Thanks. Geyer made a mistake here. If he's going to bet fold those pocket tens, he should have just checked them back to the river.
Just keep telling yourself the other one was a queen, Adam. He started today as chip leader. He's since fallen off the leaderboard. Chris Moneymaker still third on that leaderboard right now. He watches on as Greg DeBora shoves for 214,000 with pocket sixes, called by Wesley Weems with ace-8 of clubs. It's another race, William.
All of these short stacks have to double up or get out of the way.
DeBora needs the sixes to hold. He's still in the lead post-flop.
Don't pair the board.
Yeah, if the board were to pair, it would counterfeit his sixes. The 4 of diamonds is a good card for DeBora. He now has a 4-1 advantage. Just needs to sweat aces, 8s, and 7s. It's an 8 on the river. And that will do it for today. Greg DeBora eliminated in 49th place. We're down to 48 here at the PCA main event.
Painful.
And so as day 3 comes to an end, one player's agony is 48 players' ecstasy. Next time at the PCA, world champion Chris Moneymaker will continue to chase the title.
I've been in the zone for 3 days now, and hopefully I'll wake up tomorrow in the zone again.
Excellent, I'm sure you will. Good luck tomorrow.
While the other Chris will try and stay on top of the field. Who will make it to the final table? For James Hartigan, William Reynolds and myself, Michelle Orp, thank you for watching the PCA main event.